Why is play so important? Why is play such an effective tool?
It's because it's the language of children, and it's the way that they've been programmed to learn. So it's something like, you know, when you start feeding your baby solids at about 6 months, you know how traditionally we take a spoon and we would say, here comes the airplane, open up the hanger, there you go. That's teaching a child self-regulation. It's teaching them patterns. It's wanting them to, you know, at the age of 9 months, when they realize that different people are in separate bodies and have different reasons why they do things and different
mommy,
intent.
I'm not mommy anymore. Mommy is her own person and I am my own person.
When you start to play games with them, where you teach them little tricks like wave goodbye and clap your hands and switch off the light, you're teaching them to want to comply and to want to please you. So by the age of 12 months, a baby will then typically do the same thing over and over again because he wants to please mommy. So you're literally setting your child up to be obedient. You're setting your child up to want to interact in a way that's socially acceptable and also to want to imitate. Because if you teach them imitation games where you do something and they need to imitate the little pattern, you're setting them up to want to imitate you. And by doing that during the second year of life, from 8.5 months, they start to intently study the behavior of their caregiver.
From 18 months?
No, 8.5 months.
8.5 months?
Yes. And this period between the age of 8.5 months and 24 months is absolutely crucial because the child is looking at you intently. How do you deal with stress? How do you deal with a situation? A dog will bark and the child will look at you and see, are you going to act fearfully or are you going to be pleased?
That's amazing.
Read the way that you react, and that becomes, and also the way that you talk to them. The way you talk to your child becomes their inner voice.
So if you're shouting and screaming and getting angry and carrying on, your child is going to do that.
And later on, when they make mistakes in their own lives as adults or as older children, they're also going to be so mean to themselves.
Oh, wow.
Then during their second year of life, there's lots of different games as well. Pretend play is incredibly important because it teaches children to take on the roles of other people. A 2.5-year-old would be scaffolded into a higher level of functioning when they play and pretend to be mommy. The 2.5-year-old, when she's playing, typically with her friends, won't be able to share. But when she pretends that she's mommy, then she's very caring and very sharing. She's taking on that role, and that prepares her to be able to take on the role of the obedient child when she's older. So playing with your child and talking to your child is crucially important. You're setting them up for success. At the age of 12 months, when you go into a shopping mall and you're looking for something like milk, you can point at the baked beans and say, is this milk? No, this is baked beans. Point at the bread, is this milk? No, this is bread. Point at the milk, is this milk? Yes, it's milk.
Understanding categories.
You're teaching and analytical thinking.
Yes.
So at the age of 24 months, you can try to bite into a banana without peeling it and say, what's wrong with this banana?
You need to peel it, mommy.
You want to try to put on a jacket without unbuttoning it. What's wrong with that jacket? Or try to eat soup with a fork. It's not working. What's wrong with it? So teaching your child analytical skills and thinking skills, so later on when there's a change in plans or something needs to be explained, they're able to actually understand what you're saying. So it makes it so much easier to discipline them.